Pathways. Thank you for joining us. Ryan, can I get a thumbs up if you can hear me okay? Thank you. So before we start, I want to let you know that this is a recorded webinar. We've set it up with a question and answer icon. So as you listen, please feel free to post your questions and our moderator will make sure that we answer them. The raise your hand and chat features have been turned off. And before we start, I'd like to take a quick poll so that we know where you're from. Randy, would you go ahead and put the poll up for us, please? Thank you. And while you're taking a minute to respond to the poll, I'll let you know that tonight we have Mr. Ryan Beatty, the CTE director for Marysville with us, and he's serving as our moderator tonight, so thank you to Ryan. We also have Miss Randy Miller. She's our CTE district specialist, and she is managing the technical side of the webinar for us, so thank you to Randy. And then we also have our RAP partners who have graciously agreed to donate their time to us tonight so that you can hear directly from them about the opportunities available for our RAP graduates. And my goal this evening is that you leave knowing what apprenticeships are, what careers in the trades are, and how RAP prepares students for those careers. So our agenda, I'm going to scoot this out of my way here. Our agenda is pretty short tonight, and it's just designed to give you an idea of what RAP is and how it can help prepare your students for careers in the trades. We'll hear from Professor Reed from Everett Community College. We'll hear from Leonard Kelly from Snohomish County Labor Council. And we'll hear from Eric Peterson from Sheet Metal JATC. And then toward the end, I'll show you how to apply. So it's really quick and easy process this year, and we are excited, looking forward to fall and what that will mean for our RAP students in the program. We'll be answering your questions along the way, so please feel free to use the question and answer, and we'll go ahead and get started. So RAP stands for Regional Apprenticeship Pathways. It's regional because RAP serves Snohomish County, and Pathways is also part of the name, and so is apprenticeship. So let's dive into what that actually means. Pathways is part of the name, and pathways to what? So pathways to careers in the skilled trades. And if you think about skilled trades, what does that mean? That's careers in construction, transportation, and manufacturing, just to name a few. So if you think about crane operators and carpenters, electricians, heavy duty equipment technicians, and then more of the fine-tuned work, the industrial mechanics, millwrights, precision metal fabricators, and those kinds of things. Those are skilled trades. And that is what RAP is designed to prepare our graduates to be successful in. What's an apprenticeship? So apprenticeship is also part of our name. Apprenticeship, it's a system that workers train kind of on-the-job training. It's a hands-on school where you'll learn specialized skills of a specific trade. And that happens after you graduate high school. Once you decide kind of which line of work you want to go into, you apply for an apprenticeship. And the beautiful thing about RAP is that we are recognized as a pre-apprenticeship. So RAP is a program where future apprentices can explore specific trades. You develop and upgrade your job skills, and you kind of determine which trade you really are most interested in. So RAP gives you a chance to kind of dabble in a lot of different things and decide what your passion is. And our trade partners, they're looking to hire candidates that are well prepared, conscientious, committed, and they show evidence of completed a pre-apprenticeship on an application. You might just have an edge in the competitive job market when you apply. So RAP is unique. It's a high school career and technical education, or CTE, architecture and construction pre-apprenticeship program. And we received last July recognition by the Washington State Apprenticeship Training Council. And basically what that means is RAP is unique because we have partnerships with registered apprenticeship programs, and we've demonstrated that we have met rigorous standards that are set by both the council and the Department of Labor and Industries. There's something called the lost decade of productivity, and I really hope that that does not happen for the students that are listening tonight. The average age of a construction apprentice is 27. That means that there's about a decade gap where students graduate high school and they aren't exactly sure what they want to do. They might go work in fast food for a while. They might work for a company that maybe it isn't necessarily their passion. And then by the time they're about 27, they decide they want to go into the trades. And trade apprenticeships are competitive. They receive a lot of applications every year. And the nice thing is successful RAP graduates receive preferred entry to those trades programs, and maybe they're guaranteed an interview. So it depends on our partner and how it's set up. But you could either be guaranteed an interview if you're a successful RAP graduate, or you could have preferred entry into the actual apprenticeship. The program is unique because it was created by Snohomish County Trade Partners, and it was envisioned as a high school pre-apprenticeship program that would serve kind of as a feeder program to those competitive apprenticeships. So enrolling in RAP gives students the opportunity to learn the skills that industry is looking for. And here are some of our RAP partners. These are also posted on our website. So we have sheet metal workers, Carpenters Institute, laborers, Everett Community College, AmTech, which is their advanced manufacturing and technology education program. We have the pipe fitters, we have sprinkler fitters, iron workers, Construction Industry Training Council, operative plasterers and cement masons, and electricians. RAP is a 2-year-long program if you want it to be. You can take it for 1 year or you can take it for 2. We have an AM and a PM session. So our AM session this coming fall will focus on architecture and construction, and you can see the number of credits there. On the right-hand side, skilled trades, that class will take place in the afternoon. Again, 3 credits, and you can see the coursework areas of focus there as well. Those are posted on our website, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. I would encourage you to go check out the RAP website, and I'll show you how to get there at the end of the webinar tonight. I mentioned that RAP is different. It's different because of our trade partners, and some of them are here tonight. You'll get to hear from them. But they're in the RAP Center regularly during non-COVID times, and in COVID times, they've been on Zooms with us regularly. Students get to hear the real stories and ask questions and build relationships with our RAP partners so that they have an idea of what a career in that particular trade really looks like. Professor Reed, she helps us with the practice interviews with our trade partners. And RAP graduates graduate with an OSHA certification, first aid CPR AED card, manufacturing employment readiness certifications, and also Core Plus certifications, which are recognized by industry. When you go to turn in your application and you have those things attached to it, it means something. RAP is open to juniors and seniors and 5th-year seniors, along with Everett Community College students from across Snohomish County. It's located on the campus of Marysville-Pilchuck High School, and it's 3 periods, year-long class, and it can be taken for 2 consecutive years. It's a great fit if you're really wanting a career in the construction trades. We can help you get there. So these are some of the things that we've been working on this year. We have a partnership with Low Income Housing Institute of Seattle. And as you can see there on your screen, that is the blueprint for the cottage home that our students are actually building. The student on the right-hand side of the screen is cutting a board that will be applied to the home. The students on the left, they're working on the roof structure. The student on the right was an opportunity for her to nail some siding on to the inside of the structure. On the left, you'll see we've got students that are welding. On the right, we had our Mr. Eric Peterson came in and worked with our students to actually do some hands-on with sheet metal work. And so gaining a lot of different experiences in different trades. On the left-hand side of your screen, we had the iron workers come in and they worked with students on cutting and bending and tying rebar. On the right-hand side, our cement masons, operative plasterers came in and helped students learn to pour concrete and set mason block. So for this portion, I'm going to stop real quickly in case we've got some questions in our Q&A and ask Mr. Beatty, anything there yet that we need to address?
We have a few questions. One is, will the slideshow be available after this meeting?
Yes, it will be posted on the website. And again, I'll show you exactly where at the end.
And then we have a question that, are there any other certifications that'd be useful that aren't provided by RAP?
I will let our trade partners address that. At this point, the program was developed in part by our trade partners, and they said exactly what they need, and we are working to fulfill those requirements. So that's why we offer the certifications that we offer.
And then and then we had a question about, what about high school sports? And I'm just going to take a guess and say, can students participate in high school sports if they're in this program, maybe?
And absolutely, it's 3 periods a day. It's either first through third period or 4, 5, 6. So it happens during the school day. The only expectation is excellent attendance. You've got to be there every day, ready to work hard, and put in your time so that we can then feel confident in recommending you at the end of the program.
And then we have an individual here that says that their son is going to be a sophomore next year. And is this webinar just for juniors and seniors, or is it information for everybody?
So the webinar, I think, is helpful for students that might be interested, that are before your junior and senior year. If you are a sophomore or a freshman and you are thinking about a career in the trades, it's smart to have the information ahead of time so that you can work with your high school counselor and strategically place the classes that you need to take so that it aligns with RAP eventually by the time you're a junior or senior. So you'll earn a PE credit, you'll earn a lab science credit. So if you take the lab science and the PE credit earlier in your school career, then by the time you get to RAP, you would be retaking those same credits. And so working with your high school counselor ahead of time is a really smart idea if you're thinking about RAP.
Then we have another question about, do your grades determine whether or not you gain access to the apprenticeship or an interview?
Yes, in part. Our partners, our union partners, say that they want applicants that have a B or a better in the RAP program. And so we provide support to help you get there. But yes, there is a responsibility on the part of the student to make sure that they are keeping up with their schoolwork. Again, it's English, math, science, and all part of the program. And those are the expected grades to be able to get preferred entry or a guaranteed interview at the end of your program.
And can students take the Skill Center at the same time?
That would be a question for your high school counselor, depending on the number of credits that you have and how it works into your school day.
So it starts this fall and it would be finished by the next year summer, if you want to do it.
Yes,
So
it's a year-long program. So you start in the fall and finish in the spring, just a regular school year.
is there any info for Local 66 or Local 32?
Information, I'm not sure exactly what the question is referring to.
Maybe we can get some more specific information on that
We've got
question.
links on our website.
I'll cover that.
Oh,
Okay. And then we've got some links on our website too. Thank you, Professor Reed.
Let's see. If they are in a RAP program, do they still get to do their normal classes? How does that timing work?
Again, great question for your high school counselor. RAP is periods 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6. So if you take the AM session, you're in class first through third period, and then you'd have fourth, fifth, and sixth period to take your other classes that you would still need in order to graduate.
What would you suggest a current senior to do? I'm assuming this meeting is for sophomores and juniors of this school year.
So if you are interested and you are a senior currently, and you're going to be a fifth-year senior next year, then yes, RAP is an option for you. If you're currently a senior and you're graduating in June, my recommendation would be to stay on this webinar and hear what Professor Reed has to say, because Amtech has an amazing program that if you're interested in furthering your exploration of the trades, that's a great place to do it. Do some classes there. And then also you'll hear from Leonard Kelly. He's going to talk about lots of different opportunities across Snohomish County. and then from Eric Peterson as well, who's going to talk about the amazing opportunities that are available, including one, I don't want to give it away, but it's a summer opportunity through the sheet metal JATC.
Can this program be done at the same time as Running Start?
Again, great question for your high school counselor. It depends on your credits and your schedule because we're the AM or the PM session, and you need to be there both for your Running Start classes and for RAP.
And I think you kind of touched on this one already, but how do grades affect this program? And that's the last question in the chat.
Okay, thank you. Again, in order to be eligible at the end of the RAP program for preferred placement rather, into an apprenticeship program with one of our RAP partners, to be considered, you'd have to have a B or better. And then the same thing with those that offer the guaranteed interview. If you have a B or better, you're guaranteed an interview, not necessarily a position or placement. Okay.
And that's all for the questions at this time, Ms. Carnell.
Thank you, Mr. Reedy. Okay, we'll go ahead and move forward with Professor Reed from Everett Community College, and she's got some great things to share that she and Everett Community College provide to the RAP program that is unique, unlike other high school CTE programs in the area. Professor Reed, take it away.
Thank you, Ms. Carnell. Okay, as she mentioned, I am the employment facilitator for the trades programs at Everett Community College. So I'm thrilled to have the opportunity to partner with the RAP program as well in a similar role, but I get to meet with these students every week. So I'm getting to know them pretty darn well, and they're getting to know themselves. And in the process, we're exploring all of these different unions. Today, we had the operators union come through, and one student just lit up at one point. At first, there were just a couple of students interested in the operators union. But then the operators union started talking about the fact that they also have a section or a pathway for heavy equipment mechanics. And this student, I couldn't see the student's face because they had low bandwidth, but they just started typing in the chat. They were very excited. And now they have another pathway. You know, it's hard to learn about all the opportunities before you leave high school and go on to college or whatever else you do. My son, I'm a mom of a 24-year-old son. He went to Snohomish High School. And while he was going to high school, he did really, really well in classes. And he did very well in AP classes and everything, and had over a 4.0 when he graduated. So of course, mom is looking at college, right? Even though I knew about the trades, I still was looking at college. So were his career guidance counselors. His interest assessments, however, were showing that he really wanted to work with his hands, that he's a kinetic learner, that he wants to be active. And he said that 1 or 2 times, but he was trusting us to guide him. And at that point, he was not sure about his own decisions. So he did what we suggested, and he went off to university. His junior year, he burned out. I mean, he said, "Mom, I cannot sit another day at a desk. I can't do it." He is now a welder and comes home. He's now talking about getting an apartment of his own, but he only started as a welder just about 6 months ago. So I get the privilege of seeing him come home with his face just a mess from all of the welding work he did all day, and a big, huge, white-toothed grin on his face. He loves every single day. He said, "Put in front of me something that I can do that has the result that I can make something, and I'm going to bring it, and I'm going to bring it. I'm going to finish the job. I'm going to finish it right, and I'm going to feel good about it." So there's more to, obviously, even a student that is taking all of the highest math classes and the highest AP classes available. The labor unions have a place for them, not only for now, but for later. The people that we meet with the laborers union, with the plumbers, pipe fitters, steam fitters, by the way, somebody asked about them. The local 66 did come through. And then the local 66, the sheet metal workers, I'm still getting used to calling them by numbers. The sheet metal unit workers, Western Washington Sheet Metal Local 66 came through. In fact, many of the students changed their minds about that one as well. And then so did the plumbers and pipe fitters, the local 32. Today, after we had the operators union, many of the students changed their minds and said they were interested because they hadn't understood what operators did. They didn't know if it was, in surgery or what is operators. And once they understood that, they were saying, oh, okay, that one's on my possible list. So we are always exploring these and going back and forth and discovering what their interests are, what kinds of skills they already have. And then we're putting it all together onto resumes, as well as working on interview skills. We're actually in the middle of interview skills right now. And as you can imagine, it's a little nerve-wracking, right? Even though they're used to me and Mr. Clapp, their regular teacher for RAP is there, and they know each other, but still, it's pretty scary to practice answering questions like, give me an example of a time you failed. But these are the questions they'll be asked in an interview. And again, the unions have told us that to be successful and get into the union, they're going to need to learn how to interview. And then once they're in the union, they're going to need to be able to show up on time and maintain enthusiasm. They're saying the same thing. Every single one of them that comes through are saying the same thing. We need somebody with a good attitude, enthusiasm, ready to work, who shows up every single day on time. Well, I'm asking them questions and giving them a chance to practice their interviewing skills. And somebody asked about the sports. Well, one of the students today is a linebacker, and his story was perfect. And it was from one of his games. And it's not only a great story for a time when he failed, but he also, what he learned from it, how he grew from it. Every employer who hears that story is going to connect with it. So I get a chance to work with all of the students in the RAP program to prepare all of these things at the same time as we're talking about what a work day might look like. The one thing that everybody seems to agree on is that they don't want to be cold and feel wet. Well, they're going to work out in the cold and wet sometimes. And so the unions are explaining to them what kinds of clothes they can get, how they can prepare so that they're ready to be comfortable, or at least moderately comfortable on a day where it's cold and sleety and wet. Next slide, please. Thank you. Okay, I pulled a few pictures of different people. You can see this is a pipe fitters, upper left, a carpenter, upper right, lower right, we have a iron worker, and then bottom left, we have an operator. On to the next one. Okay, and then the laborers union, yes, I did choose somebody with a shovel, but that's really actually a stereotype. All the unions might have somebody on a shovel once in a while. And the laborers union has many more jobs than being on a shovel. But frankly, most of the people, once they actually get that apprenticeship, they're going to prove themselves probably at the end of a shovel or something like that. But then they're going to learn new skills, and they're going to add skills, and they're going to ask questions. They will be mentored, they will be taught. And from day one, they'll earn more than I'm making now before they've even learned those things. So go on to the next one. Oh, and upper right is a sheet metal worker. On to the next one. Okay, so we live in a very unique area. We had the port came through, the port commissioner actually, and his deputy came through and talked to these students. If they don't leave home, I mean, as in Snohomish County, hopefully they'll leave home. But if they continue to live in Snohomish County, there's going to be a lot of work for them here if they're in the trades. They were talking about the operators that are, oh, there's a longshoreman as well, but the operators that are employed down at the waterfront. They're going to be building out more of the waterfront because the Kimberly-Clark plant is being cleaned up or has been cleaned up, and they're getting it ready to build. So that's going to be some construction jobs down the road. Also, Amazon, it just finished a new huge facility, which is going to mean more business for our port as well. Next slide. So Sound Transit came as well, and this is just one of, I just went ahead and took a screenshot of part of the video we took of their presentation to these students. In the left-hand side, you can see the skilled trades that they hire. So carpenters, cement masons, concrete finishing, laborers, civil laborers, operators, excavators, which are also operators, electricians, iron workers, laborers again. We saw laborers at every single stage of the build. So they're right now going through Linwood and finishing that. They're going to be in Everett soon. And that's going to take a while. Once again, jobs. And because of the type of contract they're on, they are required to have a certain percentage of their workforce be apprentices. The operators union also told us that a certain some of their employers they send operators out to work at require that not only a certain percentage be apprentices, but they want apprentices who had a pre-apprenticeship. So being in RAP is a pre-apprenticeship. So that gives them a leg up as well. All right, next slide, please. So who's a good fit? You know, it's not, it used to be thought that the students who weren't going to make it in college were a good fit. No. In fact, one of the presenters today said she went, I can't remember, that it was pretty impressive degree. And she loved when she decided to join the union instead. People are finishing college with student debt and realizing that they want to be part of the union. Well, how much better to start out as part of the union and then let the union help pay for your college if you're going to go to college, because most of them do. Not only that, but they also pay not only pension. This is one of the few places where you can actually still get a pension, but they also pay into healthcare to a point where most of the union members aren't going to pay a cent for the healthcare insurance, even if they have a family. That's unheard of besides the unions as well. So if you are a student or you have a student who's willing to learn, or at least willing to be willing, and is curious, maybe likes to move around, maybe it's so active that the house is really not big enough, excited about doing things, I say working, but just doing anything with their hands. Maybe they don't have access to tools. Maybe you don't have access to tools, but you kind of wish you could. This is the perfect place to try it out. I have one student that's saying, you know what, I still want to be a veterinarian. Awesome. So I'm working with her on that. So you're going to have access to me as an employment facilitator, whether or not you choose this path. Another student who didn't get right into the electrical union is now at Everett Community College taking the mechatronics program. So that student will be able to go ahead and work with his mechatronic skills, or go to the union with even greater skills. And most of the unions will put you up a level or 2 or 3 with all of those feathers that you end up with in your cap, including RAP. Any questions? Oh, I forgot to mention that Barbara, Miss, I can't remember her last name, one of our wonderful instructors at in the technical trades at Everett Community College teaches OSHA safety. And so she is Everett Community College partners with the RAP program also to bring that safety training.
We do have one question in the chat right now. It is for graduating seniors, what can they do for work while they finish the program?
for graduating seniors. Well, they finish which program? I'll go ahead and I'm going to guess what you mean. And that, because if they graduate as a senior, they're finishing RAP at the same time. But we're talking to them all the time about what they do if the unions they've applied for are not bringing anybody on yet. For instance, the operators union told us that they take applications from April to November. However, they only bring in an apprenticeship group once a year. So those students are being encouraged to take jobs that are in construction, and I will be helping them to find jobs in construction if they don't get right into a union out of high school. It does take time to get into a union, but there are other types of jobs in the trades. They just don't pay $22 to $32 an hour to start the way the union jobs do.
And then we covered this briefly toward the beginning, but the question is it just a one-year program?
Ms. Cornell you're right, had covered that. It is actually a 2-year program. There are 2 different years available. One is more of a construction pathway, whereas the other one is more architecture. Am I correct about saying that, Ms. Cornell?
So yes, and I would encourage the person that asked the question to look at the website, because it's laid out more specifically in which skill sets are covered in which class. But one is more geared toward kind of the cottage build, building with wood, framing, nailing, that kind of thing. And then the other is more of the electrical work, the cement masonry, pipe fitting, those kinds of things, welding.
And then the next question in RAP is we're going to be covering here in a moment, and that is, how do we sign up for RAP? If you're going to be a senior next year.
Yeah, we'll cover that for sure. Is that it?
One just popped in, is, will seniors who graduate this spring still be able to apply for RAP?
If you're a senior graduating from high school this spring, RAP would not be an option. Again,
If they're interested in the trades, I'm going to put my email, if it's okay with you, in there so they can talk to me about other kinds of training options. Is that all right?
absolutely. And in addition to that, on our RAP website, if you click on AmTech, Everett Community College AmTech, that will take you to the website. And so there are points of contact there that you can reach as well if you aren't able to grab it from the Q&A.
And that's all the questions at this time.
I sent that to you, Ryan, so that you can share it with them if you don't mind.
You got it.
Thanks.
Thank you, Professor Reed. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Okay, now we have a really important guest with us, Leonard Kelly. He is from Snohomish County Labor Council, and he's going to tell us all about the awesome opportunities available to RAP graduates in Snohomish County.
And thank you for the opportunity to be here. I'm really looking forward to sharing with the students. When Ann started her presentation, she talked about the last decade. Well, we've done the math, and we know that the difference between starting an apprenticeship program between the time you're 18 to 27 can be as much as worth as $1 million over the course of a lifetime, between health benefits, pension, and pay. And as we mentioned earlier in the presentation, most of these have pensions. They all have pensions. And I remember, I went to college and I graduated, and I wanted to be a YMCA director. And then I became a program director for the YMCA. And then I got tired of being poor. And so I went to work for UPS in about 27, 28. Well, my son went to work for UPS at 18, and his pension is going to be worth 3 times what mine is by starting at 18 instead of the 10 years that I waited. So this is, I think, a golden opportunity for these students. We have a lot of people who are going to be retiring over the next few years. There were a lot of babies born in the late 50s. Actually, there were more babies born in 1957 than any other year during that time. And it took 42 years for the same number of babies to be born again. And those babies that were born in 57 are all turning 64 this year. So we have a desperate need for workers in the trades, because we're going to be losing a lot over the next couple of years. And we know we have decades of work in front of us between Sound Transit, the port. The city of Everett a year ago changed their building code and allowed for taller buildings from 12 to 25 stories tall. If you drive through Everett, there's all kinds of construction going on. The need for homes. We have a housing shortage. We know we have enough work for decades. So this is the golden best opportunity we've seen for young people coming out of high school to get in the trades. You know, there are a couple questions earlier about other certificates you could have. Well, obviously, one that you could have would be a high school diploma. But there's some other certificates you don't want, I want to share with you. And a certificate that says you have 3 or 4 speeding tickets, or you have a criminal conviction because you did something minor. A clean driving record and a clean criminal record are very important when you go into trade jobs. I mean, if I'm going to hire someone and I need them to drive one of my trucks and they have 4 speeding tickets, well, then their insurance is going to cost me more. So I'm going to be a lot more reluctant to hire someone who has a lot of speeding tickets or traffic violations. So a clean driving record is very important going into the trades. I think I really don't have much more to add, except that organized labor is a great place. Actually, I would say trade school is the original 4-year degree. And I'll end on that note and see if there's any questions.
Says there's a question. Here we go. Would experience driving trailers help too?
Oh, of course.
And
Any
that's
other
our question.
questions?
That's it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kelly, for your stories and for encouraging students to consider the opportunities available in Snohomish County. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay, now this is one of the things that I mentioned earlier. I didn't want to give it away, but there's kind of something exciting coming up this summer. And Eric Peterson is here to tell us all about the awesome opportunities available for RAP graduates with the sheet metal JATC, and then an exciting opportunity this summer as well.
Thanks, Ann. So my name is Eric Peterson. I'm the coordinator for Western Washington Sheet Metal JATC. I too am a apprenticeship graduate. I did my apprenticeship from 1990 to 95 after I went to college and got my degree. So I will tell you my apprenticeship was much more fun. So, okay, next slide, Ann. All right, next one. So what we're showing here, what you wanted to show you is just some of the earning potential for apprentices, okay? The column on the left is if a student was to go to college, and that is a very low estimate for a 4-year degree at a cost of $57,000. The column on the right shows that an apprentice can earn during those same 4 years. So in our apprenticeship, our apprentices start at 45% of journeyman wage, which is $26.55 an hour on their check, right? So straight out of high school, student could be making $26.55 an hour on their check, but in addition to that, they have a benefit package of about $13, $14 an hour. So total package, they're making like $42 an hour. Okay? After the apprentice works for a year, they get more experience, they get more education, they're worth more to the contractor, so they have a scheduled raise on their 1-year anniversary, and it's 5% of journeyman wage for our program, which is about $3 an hour raise after the first year. Okay? Following that, raises come every 6 months. Every 6 months, that apprentice can get a $3 an hour raise throughout their apprenticeship. So in the 4th year of their apprenticeship, wages plus benefits, they will have made over $402,000 in those 4 years, as opposed to paying $58,000 or more or accruing debt. Okay? Someone talked about the pensions. For example, our benefits include 3 retirements, 2 defined benefit pension plans, and a 401k. And it includes family health care, including dental and vision for your whole family, nothing else out of pocket other than your copays when you go to the doctor. Okay. So right now, journeyman, once the apprentice graduates, our journeymen are making $59.01 an hour on their check. And they're making $30.60 in benefits on top of that. So essentially a journey level sheet metal worker right now with no out-of-pocket costs for going to training, getting paid the whole time. Journey level workers are making $89.61 an hour on their check, or excuse me, total package, $89 an hour total package. So if they work their 2,000 hours, you do the math, that's what, $178,000 a year for wages and benefits, right? We've had some seniors, and we'll go to the next one. Okay, that shows our progression. Again, wages plus the benefit package throughout your apprenticeship. First year is at 45%, and then it goes up 5% every 6 months. And that does not include the annual raises that the union negotiates that we get every June. So that will continue to go up on that too. Okay. So this is what Ann's kind of hinted at a few times. For some of the seniors that are graduating and some of the juniors that are going into their senior year, we have a summer pre-apprenticeship program. It runs for 6 weeks, July 19th to August 26th. It's at our Everett Training Center. We can take up to 15 students for that summer pre-apprenticeship. It runs Monday through Thursday, 6 a.m. to 2:30. Your CTE instructors can nominate you for the program. And out of that, at the end of the program, the top 5 students get direct entry into our apprenticeship program. Okay. So if sheet metal apprenticeship is something you might be interested in, the RAP program knows how to get a hold of me and we can talk more about it, or you can just have your CTE teacher recommend you for the program and we'll go from there. If we get more than 15 applicants, we'll do an interview process to get the top 15 and then we'll start the class. And again, the top 5 get direct entry. If you're a junior and you end up in the top 5, we'll hold your spot until you graduate the next year and then you can start your apprenticeship. So, okay. That was it for me, right, Ann?
Yes, questions. What questions do you have?
None. I like it.
I think we're good to go at this point.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Peterson. We got to visit the sheet metal apprenticeship this last fall, and it is an amazing place. There's so much going on. So for those of you interested, please reach out. I'm happy to connect you.
We do have a couple of questions that just popped in.
Okay.
Does the sheet metal workers union include welding?
Absolutely. We teach all our apprentices to weld. We're certified test facilities, so we can certify our welders as needed. Welding is definitely a part of what we do. Everything from sheet metal up to 1-inch plate.
And then what do you look for applicants in the program?
Well, it's kind of like Terry was saying earlier. Right now, we're looking for ambitious young people that are willing to show up every day and work hard. It's very competitive, right? And so we're looking for those people that want to get out there and make a name for themselves. The more you show your journey level workers that you're willing to do, the more opportunities you're going to get. But you have to be there every day.
And then out of all the trades, which is in the highest demand right now? Does anyone know that?
Yeah.
Mr. Kelly, you have an idea?
They're all pretty much in high demand. Even just driving jobs, whether it be cement mixer trucks, UPS, community transit. I mean, all these jobs are in a huge demand. I talked earlier about how in the 50s there were a lot of babies born. Well, back when we went to school, we had wood shop and the machine shop and a lot of classes that directed us and gave us the information in going to these types of jobs. And then it went away and people didn't think about it. But there are a lot of jobs out there that outside of just the apprenticeship jobs, that there's a shortage of workers because, like I said, there's going to be a lot of people retiring over the next couple of years. But I would say most of the ones that are in the RAP program, the laborers, the carpenters, electricians, sheet metal workers, and diesel mechanics, huge demand in all of them.
Then do you have to already have do you have to already have to be in the RAP program to do an apprenticeship? I think this is why we have the RAP program.
Well, I think it's asking to do the pre-apprenticeship. So is that referring to my sheet metal apprenticeship? If you're talking about my sheet metal pre-apprenticeship, no, you do not have to be in the RAP program. You just have to be sponsored by a CTE instructor.
And then the other one's just a statement. It says, what a great opportunity for students. And that is
Yeah, it
all of
is.
our questions.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Peterson, for sharing with us about the opportunities available for students interested in sheet metal work. We really appreciate you being here tonight. So this is kind of like how to make it all work, right? So if you are interested, if all of these things sound like something that just might be up your alley, I encourage you to apply. And I'm going to show you how right now. It's really simple. The only thing you need to do to start is just fill out an interest survey. And there's a link on our website. I'll show you where that's at. Just fill out the interest survey. We'll call you in, have a conversation with you. It's an interview to find out kind of, is RAP the right pathway that meets your career goals and how we can get you there. You heard about a lot of opportunities tonight with our trade partners, and RAP is the key to when you apply for those apprenticeship programs. If you graduate from RAP with a B or better, you'll have a certificate from RAP that says you have the rubber stamp of approval that you've met all of the competencies that you need to meet, that you showed up on time, that you worked hard every day, and that we recommend you for preferred consideration for their apprenticeship programs or for an actual interview. So if you go to our district website, and all you have to do upper right hand corner is just click on the little magnifying glass and type in RAP. You'll see two things come up. You'll see a RAP application and RAP Center. RAP Center is where all of the information is kind of generally about the program, how many credits you can earn. There's a link to email me if you want to. There are some videos there about the program. So that's the RAP Center. And then the RAP application is this page. And when you get to the RAP application, I'm going to shrink it so I can get over here. So this is the general page that I was telling you about. Why RAP? There's credits, certifications. All of our partners are listed here. If you click on one of the links, it'll take you to the partners website so you can learn more about the partnership. And then the RAP application page looks like this. The only thing you need to know to get started is the link right here. This is the interest survey. So if you go to this webpage, the video from tonight is going to be posted right here. It says coming soon. So this webinar will be posted here. We had one the other day, and that was posted here. Here's one of our students that was just videoed the other day, and he's talking about the benefits of the RAP program and what he sees for his future. So if you're interested in learning more here, click on those videos. But the great place to start is just click here. You'll fill out an interest survey. We want to know what grade you are in school, what experience you have, maybe you don't have, just some general information. And then we will reach out to you to invite you in for a conversation, an initial interview to find out if RAP is a good match for your career goals. And again, if you're looking for a career instead of a minimum wage job after high school, if you're considering a career in the trades, you like to work with your hands, are you thinking about maybe being a crane operator or a cement truck driver, sheet metal worker, lots of different options. If you're thinking about that as a viable option when you graduate high school and you don't want to let those 10 years slip away and you want to get started in a solid paying job, a good career right out of high school, RAP just might be the best fit for you. And I encourage you to apply. Again, I showed you the website. If you have further questions beyond tonight, please don't hesitate to click on the link. You can email me or our RAP secretary, Mr. Groot Smith. Her link is there as well. We're happy to help you get questions answered and work with your high school counselor to get you the support you need to learn more about RAP and what you need to do to make the decision if it's the right option for you or not. So with that, I invite final questions for tonight. If you have anything else you want to know. Mr. Beatty, do you have anything else in the Q&A?
Just another statement says, congratulations to the RAP team. I wish I could go back to high school in the 80s and get into the trades.
We have a lot of fun, I'll just tell you that. It's a great place to learn and great opportunities available out there.
The question is, how soon will you be contacted for an interview after applying?
So once you fill out that interest survey, by the end or about mid-April, we'll be reaching out to you. We'll give you some information about the program and we'll work with you to set up an interview time. And that will be, the interviews will be happening toward the end of April, possibly early May. Any other questions, Mr. Beatty?
Not at this time.
All right, well, thank you all for being here tonight. We really appreciate it. Thank you to our partners, Professor Reed, Leonard Kelly, and Eric Peterson, because I know that they took time away from their families to be with us tonight. And I thank them for that, because you got to hear exactly from our partners on what it means to graduate from RAP and the opportunities available. So we couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Please check out the website. If you're interested, fill out that interest survey and we'll reach out to you. And I thank you for your time tonight.
Hey, Ms. Carnell, would it be possible to take that link and post it in the chat to everyone?
The website,
No, the interest survey.
interest survey, I can, let me see here. Hang tight. Okay, let me go back to my chat, see if I can. And do I just click on answer live, Mr. Beatty? Is that?
Well, I think we throw it in the chat, then everyone can see it. And
Let's see if I can get to
Just
chat.
make sure you
Yep.
choose and attendees on who you send it to.
Thank you. See, Ms. Miller, she keeps us all in line. Okay, awesome. Thank you. I think we got it in there now. So I'm also going to put the link to the website so that you can access that as well. And then on the website, you'll see a link that says apply here, and that will take you to the application website as well. So it should all be there. Thank you all so much. I appreciate your time, and we look forward to getting your interest surveys and getting in touch with you. With that, I will log off and thank you for the evening.
look forward to